That is because if you take the Muslims, I cannot understand how the SLMC could ever think of supporting the merger of the Northeast or supporting the presidential candidate for the opposition when he is saying that that the North and the East would be merged. The damage would be that the Muslims who are 33% in the East will become reduced to a weak entity of only 17%. Now this is going to be one of the most damaging aspects of merger. That is why even the Tamils who feel that they are being dominated by the North, they feel they must be free. So the question of merger is behind all this support that TNA has come forward to give. Though one of their candidates, Mr. Sivajilinga, who is supposed to be a relation of LTT leader Mr. Prabhakaran, he's contesting as the presidential candidate. So that candidate is, and his party of Telo, 4 members, will not support Mr. Sarath Fonseka's candidate as far as I understand. There are many others who have reservations, but nevertheless, Mr. Sambandhan has tied himself up with the opposition candidate, and we will be surprised if ever they could think in terms of a merger. Now, the whole country is opposed to merger. The Tamils and the Muslims of the East are opposed to merger. And I am shocked because people like Mr. Rauf Hakim have gone and supported this, particularly in the light of very questionable statements that have been made.
Yeah, and when you talked about the questionable statement also, Mr. Zuhair, very briefly, we know when Sarath Fonseka was the army commander, he also made a very controversial statement to the National Post of Canada. Do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I would like to mention that, the National Post of Canada, I have got a internet copy of that. I'm not going to read everything except to say he said in that interview that I strongly believe that this country belongs to the Sinhalese. Now, even the majority in the Sinhalese people don't support that position. This country belongs to everybody. These are multiracial, multi-ethnic, multilingual country where everybody happily lives. So there is no question of this country belonging. And he says, I strongly believe. And they cannot make undue demands. Now, this type of statement was condemned in Parliament by Mr. Rauf Hakim, the SLMC leader. I have got his speech, which was made on 7th October 2008 in Parliament, condemning. There were many others who condemned. This was not the only statement. He had made many other statements, even subsequently. At that time when he was army commander, action should have been taken at that time, no doubt about it. Somebody was asked, might ask, why didn't you take action? Yes, but then the point is, when you take action, the other people are trying to hoist him up now. You see, the opposition people, all of them who criticized him, have taken up him as today's hero for them, you see. Now, you will find not only that, even in his first press conference that he had at Jaik Hilton, announcing his candidature, he repeated this. And I am not quoting any other thing other than Mr. Ranil Wickramasinghe's uncle's newspaper organization, which is publishing the Daily Mirror. Daily Mirror of 30th November, I will invite all those viewers to look up this paper in particular. 30th November, page 1, lead story. Again he says, no community should demand for undue powers. Now the Sinhala people are not demanding, it is the minorities who keep on asking, let us solve this problem. There are problems. We cannot dispute that. We have land problems, we have problems related to Digawapi, we have problems and issues relating to customs. When imports, there are people who allege discrimination. We have regarding university admission. Nobody is trying to silence and say, no, there are no problems. Every community has. The Sinhala majority also has problems. Now, the question is, we are having a very small cake, right? And then we should develop this country and make this a big cake, so that everybody could share this. So there is no need to fight and grapple over this. So when it comes to issues of this nature, it is very important that we don't forget that sometimes when this country has to forge ahead, we need to develop this country very fast. And to develop this country, you need a good executive presidency with experience, and who is interested in developing this country, and who is not coming forward after winning, if he wins, to give it to somebody who has been rejected by the country 20 times.
Okay, Mr. Zuhair, on that note, we have very little time and we finished our time. We had many more issues to discuss, and in the context of TNA and also SLMC and secret agreements and very controversial statements given by the former army commander, we got some insight to the politics that's unraveling. Thank you very much, Mr. Zuhair, again for joining us, and thank you for watching us today. Do join us tomorrow also at the same time. Have a nice day.